This stuff here in Yerushalmi Eruvin, the article Ozvar Adoshin, where Mamash the top of Kov Ches Mav, right at the beginning of the Gemara, V'omer Yontav Hayom, which in the Vilna is on Chav Vav Amar Aleph, right after Halacha Test the Mishnah. V'omer Yontav Hayom. I said yesterday they make it according to Rabbi Yehuda, you make it tonight, 2 days Rosh Hashanah. You would need to take Trumas Maisis off of a basket of grain and say if today is. The first day you say if today is cold, let it take effect today and not tomorrow. Next day you say the opposite. If today is cold, let it take effect today, not yesterday. And then on the second day you could eat it. And so to the Mishnah it said that Beitz Shel Rishon Tocha B'Sheni because it's 2 Kedushos and Lo Chachamim. I'm not sure I read the actual last part of the line of the Mishnah yesterday, so let's read the Mishnah again. For Rabbi the Master of the Magal you have to Rishon V'Chla B'Sheni Chen Beitz Shel Rishon Tocha B'Sheni Lo Chachamim. Okay, so it says Gemara. It says if today is Yontiv, then what I said today is meaningless. You designate a name for the Meisters. And nevertheless, of course, since it might not take effect today, you can't eat them. Second day again, Meisters, and now after the condition is complete, both sides of it, you can eat. Mechavashita say it should be Korbanei Pnei Moshe, but let's change it to Rabbi Yehuda, not the Rav, but Rabbi Yehuda. And Pnei Moshe explains. Mechavashita say Rabbi Yehuda to claim Tzolchim Tamli Avli Kedusha Achas Gabriel V'Shabbos Esmuchim. By Yontav V'Shabbos, which are adjacent to each other, which is what we talked about the last few days. He says one Kedusha is Lo Rabbi Yehuda Karbas Kain Rabbi Lezer Darmin Kinamil Ochel. He doesn't look like Rabbi like the Arbas Kain Rabbi Lezer. That's 2 Kedushas. So v'hacha, yet here you have shtei kedushas, makes it 2 kedushas. Mishani in answers Tamik Kosev Shabbos Yontav Kedusha Achas Aruchahi. It's 1 kedusha because they're both kadosh, and actually kadosh. Avalacha, but here Echol Kodesh Echol Chol. One is really a weekday. The Misafigu Shemi Elu, because the Safik maybe Elu was made a leap month and you're not aware of it. So that's it inside. Mchavish Tosei Rabbi Yehuda Tam Yav Kedusha Achas. Shabbos Yontav, by 2 days Rosh Hashanah makes it 2 kedushas. Tam kedusha achas aruchai because Shabbos Yontav are both holy. Brahmocha achas kodesh v'achas chol. One is a week holy, and one is a weekday. So by definition, he says it's not kedushas. It's 2 kedushas. Well, conversely, mechavashita say the Rabbanan. Seems the Rabbanan contradict themselves. Tam olei shtei kedushos. They hold certainly like the Arbas Kainim that the Nechal Barishon b'Sheni Arei Kivnei Eiro. If Eiro was in the first day, then second day you're like people of the city because it's 2 separate kedushos. The kohen of the kedusha achas here they say you can't make this tonight because one long to kedusha richta. So which is it? Talmud Yontav Eitzel Shabbos. So there Yontav Shabbos kechol Eitzel Shabbos like kechol Eitzel Shabbos. It says Pnei Moshe. Kumad lo shaykh lo kedusha richta hi. It's like oil and vinegar. They don't mix. But here they're both days of Rosh Hashanah. Yes, it's true. One's only Misafik, but they're both days of Rosh Hashanah as opposed to a Shabbos and Yontav. So again, Katam Yontav it's a Shabbos, Chol it's a Shabbos, Param Helcha Shneim Shavim. Modim Lechachol Rabbi Yehuda b'Shnei Yom Mitoy Shoshay Shem Midakonas Tabirim Yishtonim. This is Modi Chacham is a bit interesting. Loshin says Bnei Moshe Klomar Avogaz Asay Beis Yom Shona Kedusha Achas Ha'i, even though it's 2 days Kedusha. Midas B'Zem Moedim. This they concede. Shein Tam V'Tachos Mishonim V'Lo Yinogin Mikodim. This is something which comes from the Mishonim, but it's not something which was prior. You know, the Tzaddik holds that Yontav Shei Shagolios was already in the Midbar. It was given our Sinai. Right? So this Bnei Moshe is a shtickle like that. Yontav Shein Shagolios, the normal Yontav Shein Shagolios, so to speak, was already given in the Midbar. But the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah, which were Misafek, because of a different reason, because of the, even Eretz Yisrael, of course, because of the Safek of the Edom coming. So that was much later. It's the Takonas Nevim Rishonim, when they saw the Edom would sometimes come late. We have a fascinating, a Gadita reason for Now, the Gadita reason doesn't contradict the regular reason that the Shluchim might not have gotten there, but it seems like it's like a punishment. There's one of the Chuvas of Goyim which I went through, and you can go to my blog and find my YouTube channel is a little bit selfless, shameless self-promotion, and fights to Shim on the truth of the Goinim about of Yontif Sheni, that it was a kind of way that they Chutzlaritz decided to do independent of the Eidim in order to try and of the Shluchim, in order to try and achieve a level of Kedusha in Chutzlaritz akin to the level they could achieve Kedusha in Soul in one day. This Yerushalmi is similar. So it says here, the children of my mother, they rebuked me. Why? Because Kamir Shali Lona Tarti, it says in Shishim, because they did not keep my vineyard. The Korban says, they made me to watch the vineyards, Lashon Rabim, same Lashon Yachid, Kamir Shali, my vineyard. Havlimar Kramim Shali Lona Tarti, why it says singular, not plural. Krim Hainu Laharbos, the Simchas Yontov, Shkedagan, let's say the Kramim Yontov. The Kramim is refers to Simchas Yontif because they used to go and dance in the vineyards in Yontif. Because now so times most of the time it's close with Kramim. So they would go out to the Kramim, but then they stopped. And I guess that's even though the Kramim refers to Simchas Yontif, and then they didn't keep proper Simchas Yontif. So therefore it says Kamishli again. Migan lios neteres Kramim, as Hashem Kamishli lo natarti. Why do I keep 2 days in Syria? And they didn't keep the day of Yontif in Eretz Yisrael. So again, one can learn in the Korban it does here that the Shluchim didn't get to these places, but it's still, besides that, it seems that there's also this reason that this is a kind of punishment, Yontif Sheni. They weren't being Mesamech sufficiently, so therefore they had to have this Yontif Sheni. I thought I'd get the schar on double. In other words, I have 2 Yom Tovim, 2 Sidorim. So it's a lot of schar. No, it doesn't work that way. You only get rewarded for one. In other words, the 2 days of Chutzlaritz are tantamount to 1 day in Eretz Yisrael. You don't get additional schar for that Chutzlaritz thing. There's a lot to be said about this. Okay. Why do I have to take 2 cows in Syria? 2 cows in Syria. 2 of them. One he goes to the fire, one goes to the Kohen. They really do the fire one. So Shalif Rajichala Chasbaritz didn't do chal probably in Eretz Yisrael. So therefore, I had to do 2 chal Chutzlaritz. I thought I would get schar on both. And he goes schar lachas. Only receives schar on one of them. Rabbi Yochanan said concerning the Bnei Chutzlaritz. Rabbi Yochanan was very militant against Bnei Chutzlaritz. I gave them laws which are not good. 2 different perushim in the Korban Eid of Bnei Moshe. Chukim says Bnei Moshe, but on Sham shaloyu tovim. I gave the chukim lo tovim because they were not good. V'loshim mitzvahs Hashem. V'chaslo mashchuki Hashem atzmom lo tovim. Chaslo to say the laws of Hashem are themselves not good. Lo nechel dachinom el kibirashlu. I gave the chukim because they were lo tovim. So the Bnei Moshe says chukim shosif them lo tovim hein lekabel schar. Says no, the laws themselves are not good in that sense that you don't get additional reward for them just because you keep the additional chukim. Ravo Alexandra went to Alexandria, vatinu lulavim b'shubsa, and they were taking lulavim on Shabbos. So this evidently they didn't hold Alexandria the Gzeir Shemei Avinu Arba Amos Shusarabim. At least that point in history. But from the language of the Gemara, it sounds like Rabbi Avoh himself made them take lulav on Shabbos, because Rabbi Avoh is Alexandria of At Inun, and like the Korban Eidah says Hayunotli, but the Bnei Moshe seems more correct. But it's especially next Gemara. I knew lulav and shub say tzrichum linhog shunotli b'Shabbos. Moshe also was mentioned ba'is b'yom rishon shachar b'Shabbos. He made them take lulav on the first day, like they would do in the Beis Hamikdash on Shabbos. So Shama Rabbi it sounds here like Rebbe, the Yerushalmi Kapshuta points out that it doesn't work according to this history. It should be Shama Rabbi Mi. It should be Rabbi Ami, right? And then Mar, he said, it should be Amar. And then the next line should be Mi Mevel Lahon Rabbi Avo B'chol Shata. Who's going to bring the Rabbi Avo every year? In other words, you can't be making this way because not every year they're going to do the kviyas that they should definitely do the Shabbos. So, we can't. Avo that year knew when Rosh Hashanah was kavua, but the shluchim evidently didn't reach it every year. So therefore, we can't allow them just to rely on their assumption that they're going to know for sure what the first day Sukkot is, and that it is definitely the Shabbos that year is definitely the first day Sukkot, and therefore they can't do it all the time. So even though the Yerushalmi Kapshuta brings on Rav Yod that holds that the Yerushalmi does have Gzeir the Rabbah, Shemi Aveda Arba Shus Rabbim, it really doesn't. Our Yerushalmi does. In each case where something is Asr on Shabbos, Shabbos Yontif, like Shofar and Megillah, the Yerushalmi brings down different reasons. It doesn't bring down the Gzeir Rabbah, although there is evidently in the Ha'aras of the Medrash Seichel Tov, it says that V'im Chai Yontif B'Shem Shoshan B'Shabbos Ein Tokin D'Rabbi Zer Gzeir Hu Shegazu Anshik Knesset HaGdoila Shofar Uluv HaMegillah Shon Hag B'Shabbos Shem Yolichem Eitz HaBaki L'Maridonim. So they had, according to the Medrash Seichel Tov, it wasn't the Gzeir of Rabbah, which should be much later, but it's the Gzeir Anshik Knesset HaGdoila. But it's the Gzeir of Anshik Knesset HaGdoila, so why would Rabbi Avo be doing it? So it sounds like it's sometime later on. And again, since the Bavli is what I'm from Rabbah, it sounds like it was a Gzeira, according to the Bavli, later than time Rabbi Avo. Anyway, so the point is that he said, no, we can't allow this. Rabbi Avo said can't allow this because we won't know every year that it came out right. Again, the Shluchim didn't necessarily get to Alexandria, certainly after the Churban Abayis. They are not getting there necessarily. So Rabbi Yossi Mishlach Ksiv Lahon, Yossi sent a message to that they should write to the people of Alexandria, and I guess presumably elsewhere in Chutzars, even though they wrote for you the order of the Yom Tovim, meaning you'd have a luach, do not deviate from the Minhag Avosechem, which is to keep the Yotav Sheni, because we're afraid that Yachzor Davar L'Kulo. It's interesting. Korban Edo says Sidrei Mardos refers to the Seder Tefillah. I don't know why he would write that. I think it's referring to Luach, not the Seder Tefillah. Okay. Says the next Mishnah. Rabbi Dutz ben Urkanes Omer. However, Livnei Ateva Yontif Shoshana, somebody who's the Shliach Tzibur Shoshana. Omer says, Achlei Hashem Elokeinu Yisrael Yom Rosh HaChodesh Hazeh. Save us on this day, Rosh Chodesh. Of course, Rosh Chodesh. Ima Yom Im Lamar. Whether it's today or tomorrow. Because it's fake of the Yoma. Say it's today or tomorrow. The next day he says, Ima Yom Im Emesh. If today or yesterday. V'lo Lucha Chachamim. Chachamim did not agree to this Nusach HaTfilah. The Gemara says, why did they not agree to this? Neish Omar Yomi Emesh, because he's saying today or yesterday, and because going later, Lodo Chacham the Savi, the last Saviku, Yom Rishon Rosh Chodesh, and he said, no, we know the first day is Rosh Chodesh because Lo Matzina Elam Ubar. I think as a Sefer it says, Ella was never a leap year, so leap month, so therefore first day was truly Rosh Hashanah. Oh, Yeva, or perhaps the other reason is totally different. Kai the Mara B'Yakov B'Acham B'Shem B'Yasa, or even the Yonto Teva or Yonto Rosh Hashanah, ain't no tzarich let's go Rosh Chodesh. You have to mention Rosh Chodesh. So Avchacha Kain, the issue is you're not supposed to you don't mention Rosh Chodesh and Rosh Hashanah, which of course we don't do. And when you're looking at Buddha Yerushalmi, it says, brings the Shiboli HaLeket. It's because of Shem Ben Chanano, Shev Yerushalmi Eruvin. Yar Bach with Shem Rabbi Yossi Omer, of Vnei Ateva Yontif Rosh Hashanah, ain't so let's go Rosh Chodesh. Chadavarin, evidently he had more of a more Yerushalmi than we do, because there's Charamar Var Kumel Tevusa. So he went in front of the table, Lo Yikar Be'Shiacha B'Kal Sei. And then mentioned Rosh Chodesh, and he was praised. Kalashon Ofnei Leis Lagach Siyuma. So as you said, Yerushalmi Shvuos, and says Shas Nishmat Lishom L'Shas Shvuos Hanal. But he says he should look in Shas Shvuos, where, which is not referenced here in Shas either, where it does have that conclusion as well. Okay, Hajlo Perma B'Chom Eruvin. Perak Revi. Mishu Tiu Akum. Somebody is taken out of his tchum by a non-Jew, or Ruach Ra, or some temporary insanity. Compelled him out of his tchum. Ein Lo El Arba Amos. He only has 4 amos where he is. Hechzru, they put him back into his original location. Kilu Yitziyot says as if he never left. They put him took him to another city, Nasu B'dir Sar, to put him in a pen or a corral, an enclosed area. And the Kuli could walk the entire enclosed area. So the Korban says, oh! Or they put him in Dir Sar, which are enclosures with broad enclosures. So either or, right? So you can go in the entire enclosed area which you find yourself. So in Nafkamina, if a person lands in an airport on Shabbos, airports are all nowadays surrounded by fences for security reasons. You can walk throughout the entire airport. You can't leave the airport. You can walk throughout the entire airport. Rabbi Shur Akiva Omer Ein Lo Ela Arba Amos. You only get 4 amos. Ma'aser Shebo Mi Parnadin. They came from a place called Parnadin, where they were I guess they were coming from there. And their boat went out to sea. And Uzziah went throughout the entire ship. They only went 4 amos inside the ship. And they didn't. They wanted to be machmir for themselves. So the reason tells us the port by which they left is that they were kind of shvisa in the port, and then they were taken outside the tchum by the boat. So Uzziah went throughout the boat, whereas the Yerushalmi Eruvin only stayed within the 4 amos in which they found themselves. Okay, so Gemara asks, well, not what he said. You only ain't arba amos. V'lochein, like v'lochein, if not that, manam roimin. What would we have said? Says Moshe Gemara, Michael Marshall, v'lochein, if not, that tells us manam roimin. What do we say? The meichtesi el yisrael. Why should I have more for amos? Because so the Gemara answers. Yes, because I might say it's like somebody goes out with permission. In other words, like somebody goes out because of in order to save somebody's life or something like that. And such a person gets 2,000 amos on all sides. Okay, Meimar, therefore, has to tell us, Ein Lo Ela Daud Amos. As the Moshe says, "Come on, the Tema. How many says the Kamishi Yatzav Shus? The Tanam will come on. Yesh Lapayim Amal Charuach got 2,000 amos on all sides. Kamish Yatzav Ba'ones. Since this guy went out, Ba'ones, right? He was compelled to go out. I might say Havak Yatzav Shus. So if he went out with Shus, the Funkein Tzorach Meimar Ein Lo Ela Arba Amos. Say therefore he only has 5 amos. The Shani Hasem the Shus Mitzvah Shiyatzav Kamila. Come on, there's a special dispensation because he went out for the Shus of a mitzvah. U'minayim Daud Amos. How do you know the Daud Amos is the shear of a place? Then that's what you get, not more than that. Shvu ish tachtov. Because it says Shvu ish tachtov. Shvu ish tachtov and tachtov, Chazal say, is a person is for Amos, as we shall explain a few more lines how that works. How do we know that it's you get 2,000 amos? The normal tchum, of course, is smachta, because I said there's more. You get 12,000 amos. Al yetzei ishu komo b'yom hashvi. Says al yetzei ishu komo b'yom hashvi, and makomo is 2,000 amos. So okay, it says Gemara. Ochelef, perhaps the limudim she reversed. Maybe you learn out the Daud Amos from Ayitzeshim Komo and the 2,000 Shu Ish Tachtov. So, again, of course, these are smachtos. So, therefore, the question is which of smachtos, so to speak, the better one. Rabbi Lezer said Utzninon. We learned also that in a In the Brisa, Asa ben Akiva Omer, Asa ben Akiva said, Mokom. It says Mokom here, right? I'd say Ish Mim Kamo. Person should not leave his 2,000 amos. Person not leave his place. Sorry. Then it says later on by Ir Mikla Sanducha Mokom. I'll place for you a Mokom. Now, the makom of the Ir Miklat includes 2,000 amos around the tchum of the Ir Miklat. Mamakom Shem Alona Pai Mamo includes the 2,000 amos of the surrounding area. Av makom Shem Markana Pai Mamo. Here too, the makom, I'd say Ishmu Komo means the area including the 2,000 amos around. Okay, now how do we know that Tachtav is referring to Dal Amos? Dal Amos Shem Malo Komaso Pishut Yadayim. It's a normal person is 3 amos in height, around depending on how that's somewhat over 5 feet or 6 feet. And the Pishu Yadayim, and his extension of his hands over his head. So that's called Tachtav, underneath him when he's lying down in that prone position. Rabbi Yehuda says, the Korban to Sholosh Amos v'Ama, it's 3 amos and an Amma K'dei Sheyeh Nota Chavis Mirashosov in the same Haggadah. So you take a jug from over his head and put it by his feet.